Sit down a minute. Quiet day out here, and I'll tell you, it's been quiet all year though. It's just been quiet season. But we're gonna go get some lunch. But before I head out today, I want to do a different kind of video than I've probably ever done before, and it's probably the most important turkey tip that I could probably ever give you. And I've given a lot of important ones over the years, and I've helped a lot of you kill turkeys, and that's great. But this is the most important thing that I'll ever tell you. And here's what it is. Safety. You know, I don't think there's enough talked about when it comes to safety. And I know some of you are getting ready to turn this video off and say, well, I already know all that stuff, but listen, just give me a minute, because I'm going to share with you something. During this 2022 turkey season, nationwide, so far I've heard of 3 accidents happening, and 2 has been fatal, and turkey hunters have lost their lives. There's absolutely no call for any accidents to ever happen in any kind of hunting, but especially turkey hunting or deer hunting. But turkey hunting can be a very dangerous sport. It can be. It shouldn't be, but it can be, because people are careless, and some people just don't follow gun safety rules. Now, I'm not talking about a gun going off. I'm not talking about, you know, somebody didn't know it was loaded and pulling the trigger. That happens sometimes. It shouldn't happen. You should always be aware. But I'm talking about this year, other hunters shooting another hunter and killing that person or wounding them severely. That should never happen. And I want to talk just a moment about gun safety and safety out here in the woods. You know, I know a lot of young turkey hunters watch this channel, and I appreciate you watching. You know, you're a big chunk of my support. You know, men and women who are just starting out, hasn't been turkey hunting but a year or 2, 3 maybe, and sometimes we forget the very basics of safety when we're out there and we're trying to work that turkey in, or maybe we've had a season like this year where it's been really, you know, you've struggled, you've really had a tough time, you've had a really tough season, and you see something out there, a decoy or a blob or something, you see something, and you know, in your mind you just say shoot. That should never happen, but it happens too many times. Now, this year, we've had 2 hunters killed because states have allowed rifle hunting during turkey season. Now, some of you may get mad at me, and some of you may comment in this video and say, well, you're taking my rights away. And I'm not trying to take nobody's rights away, and I'm not trying to knock anybody that hunts legally. But here's the thing. Rifles, in my opinion, have no place in the spring turkey hunting woods. It's dangerous. It's just unethical, in my opinion, and it can cause a world of damage. You say, well, what's the difference in a shotgun and a rifle? It's not the gun, it's the person behind the gun. And you're right, it is the person behind the gun. But let me just say this a moment. There's a big difference in shooting at somebody. You shouldn't shoot at nobody, but there's a difference in shooting at somebody at 50, 60, 70 yards with a rifle, and maybe shooting somebody with a shotgun. Now, both of them can hurt a person, and both of them can kill a person, but one has a more chance of survival than the other. And most rifle accidents happen at more distances than 60, 70, 80 yards. Most of the time, it's somebody that sees a decoy out in the field, and they shoot the decoy with a high-powered rifle, and the bullet goes through the decoy and hits the person on the other side. Or the person sees a blob or something, they see something that they think's a turkey, and they shoot it, and it winds up being a person at 70, 80, 90 yards. Listen, there's no call for that, and I think it should be outlawed. I don't think it should be allowed. And from a ethical standpoint, as far as turkey hunting, you're really not turkey hunting. You're just turkey sniping. That's all you're doing. You're not turkey hunting. You're out there shooting turkeys at 80, 90, 100, 120, 130 yards. That to me, that's not turkey hunting. You know, hitting one up there 50 yards or under, that's a whole different story. But regardless of the fact you hunt the rifle, shotgun, bow, whatever the case, you should be careful. And there should never be a call. There should never, ever be anyone ever shot by another hunter. Now, I know some people see a strutting decoy out there and they put a sneak on it, but you are to know a decoy from a real turkey. I don't care how real they look, whether it's AVX, Dave Smith decoys, some of the best decoys, you know, as far as lifelike they are. You should know, you should study that, and you should know within 30 seconds if that's a decoy out there or if it's a real turkey. But these are just things you need to remember. When you're out there and you're calling and you're out there having a good time and you're out there enjoying yourself, you need to remember safety. Don't ever, never point that gun and never take that safety off and never pull that trigger until you know it's a real, live, genuine gobbler with a beard, with a red and white head, and you know that it's a living turkey out there. That's important. And if you are a rifle hunter, know what's beyond your target. And even shotgun hunters too, but especially rifle hunters. Know what's beyond it, because your bullet could go through the person's decoy and hit the person on the other side and maybe wound them real bad or, God forbid, kill them. We've lost 2 turkey hunters this year. That's just one too many. There should never be an accident. So I just want to take a moment and just remind all of us to go back to the basics of what we learned when we were just kids about gun safety, and never, ever shoot at something that you don't know exactly 100% what it is. In my opinion, I think a person that beats down on another person and pulls the trigger thinking they're a deer or a turkey, I think they should lose their hunting rights for the rest of their life and never hunt again. Now, something where, you know, a person is careless and they shoot and they don't know what's on the other side and they mistakenly hit a person, they didn't know what was over there, that shouldn't happen. And that person should be, you know, suffer the consequences of whatever they suffer. But I don't know if they should lose their license for the rest of the year or for their life. But I think a person that beats down on another human being thinking they're an animal, I think they should lose their privileges for the rest of their life. There should never be a call for a hunting accident. Be careful out there and always know your target. That's the best tip I could ever give you. You be safe out there until we see you in the next video.